So this is a little do-it-yourself project for a French drain, which is designed to cut off water flowing towards someplace you don't want it. And in this case, there's water during heavy rains that flows down the driveway across the parking area where I have the load of gravel right now, and into a planting area, and then ends up coming down the wall of the structure, the block wall, which has a waterproof coating on it from years ago, but even then there's water that can get in between the foundation and the block wall. So what we've done here is dig a trench. This one is approximately 12 to 14 inches below the level of the driveway, and just a shovel width wide. The main thing about this trench is that it has to be graded so that it will flow out and away from the building. The key to any drainage issues bothering you is, one, identify the source, two, get the source away from the house. So in this case, it's going to be going out along the edge of the house, and it'll just daylight the pipe at grade. So this is all on a grade so that it will flow out to the outlet. This pipe that I have put in the first section is a pipe that's designed to allow water to flow into the pipe. It has a cloth covering mesh that allows the water to flow in, but it helps keep the sediments out. You don't want this drain pipe getting filled up with dirt. So what we do now is, I've got underneath this pipe, I've got an impervious heavy plastic which will act as kind of a cradle for the water that comes in to the height of the pipe. After that, I have an overlap piece which goes down into overlap this particular piece, and then I'm going to fill it up with a clean washed gravel, and that just means that this gravel is not loaded with fines which will plug up. We want a gravel that will allow the water to come through. So I'm going to put a lift of this gravel all the way above this pipe. I have this pipe that's readily available at one of your home improvement stores with the mesh outside and the pipe is slit so that water can go into it. So as this little trench fills up with water, it will collect there, and right here I have a coupling to a standard 4-inch corrugated flexible pipe, and that will go to the outfall. And again, this trench will all be on grade. You can see there's a little more to be dug out on this end. So I'm picking up the water right from the corner of the house right here all the way across, and that will pick the water that comes off the driveway and keep it away from the house. So while I'm digging the trench, I'm putting the dirt around the edge of the house, which over time, this particular area, which was fill against your block wall when the house was built, will tend to settle. And that's exactly what happened. So my grade from the driveway was continuing in against the wall, and in heavy rains there'd be water that would go over, hit the wall, go down the wall, and show up on the block in the basement. Okay, so next step after this gravel is laid, what I'm going to do is put a landscape fabric over the top of it. And this is a fabric that you use for lawn, landscaping, and it allows water to go through it, but it will not allow the dirt fines to penetrate it. So I'm going to lay that fabric, once I get this up to the grade I want with the washed gravel, then I'll lay this on top of it. And after that, I'm going to use a concrete or a stone dust, which is very fine, and I'm going to lay that with rock. So on the top of it, I'm going to put down rock, and then I'll put this stone dust in between those rocks. That area will not receive vehicular traffic, so it'll work just fine. And that's exactly what I did to this stone area a couple years ago. That's just rock dust in between. So that's easy to lay. So that's about $70 worth of clean gravel and dust, about $60 worth of pipe, and $20 worth of plastic, and about, oh, I don't know, I'll probably have 7 or 8 hours into this by the time I get it all tidied up. So that is a French drain. It will pick up the water, and the water will flow out the exit. It can't go into the basement or overland. It will be picked up. So that's the do-it-yourself for today. Good luck if you have one.